Hey, everybody, I'm Kelly Ellers.
I'm Jeffrey London.
This is Volume Up by The Tease. So, Jeff, have you been able to escape the marketing machine that is Disney and said Little Mermaid?
Absolutely not. No, not at all. So my 5-year-old is obsessed with the original animated version,
Okay.
and all of its iterants, all of the silly little TV shows and the sequel and the prequel and all of that. And because of that, we are, as you can imagine, targeted by the live action film, which will
Yes.
be coming out in just a few days of this recording. Cannot escape it. But also, and I'm gonna say it. I'm of that age where so the other Disney live actions have been horrifying. It doesn't like pull a
Yes.
single heartstring.
No.
I'm just scared. I'm like, why is this a thing that we're doing? I gotta tell you, when the trailer dropped for The Little Mermaid, I was like,
Chills.
I had goosebumps like up and down, and I was like, part of your world. Yeah. So they're doing something right.
You're
they got
in
me.
it.
They got me.
you.
Yeah. So
Good.
we have tickets. We are
Okay.
taking to our first movie going experience. It's going to be The Little Mermaid for her. She's very hyped. But that's not what
That's
you wanted
awesome.
to talk about.
No.
No.
I appreciate that, but I want to talk about Ariel's iconic hair flip and why it's not so easy in real life. I don't know that I think it would be easy to do that. You?
No. I mean, I think this is one of those things where an animated film, you can do some things
You
with
can.
gravity and physics that you can't necessarily do IRL. So yeah,
Good
what did Halle Bailey have to say?
So Halle Bailey said it was challenging to do the hair flip in the live action remake of the animated film. In the original in 1989, wow, yeesh. The Little Mermaid, the sea witch Ursula gives Ariel legs, forcing her to swim to the ocean surface. When she does, her hair flips back in a swirl, cementing it as an iconic scene. So Bailey noted it was fun to do. It was hard because your hair was heavy. It's not as light as it appears in said animation, as noted. She has her locks, which are her favorite thing, and she's had them since she was 5. And they feel like wool when they're wet. So it gets heavier. So it almost doubles in the weight. So I wonder how many times she had to practice the flip. And I mean, it turned out well.
Yeah, I feel for her neck. Thanks for suffering through, for making,
for Jeff's 5-year-old.
I was going to say, for my 5-year-old, and for my
you.
little 5-year-old, although I was not 5 at the time. Don't do that math. I was just a wee.
I was closer to 5 than maybe you. So anyway, you were just a sort of, you may have been just a glimmer at that moment.
Yeah,
so
I was a real life thing. Anyway, yes, I'm very excited. I got to say, I'm glad that she's doing some of these shots though, because it's paying off for the parents to be like, oh, that was in the original.
In the OG.
Yeah.
I love it. So on our last episode, we talked with Justice Jackson. Justice is a natural hair content creator that makes tutorial style videos and Afro art. She's been creating content for 4 years now with 184,000 followers on Instagram, 1.9 million on TikTok. And Justice is in the process of establishing her own brand, which, yeah, get it. Go do it. We love to see it. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions or videos of your hair flips to volumeup@thetease.com.
This week, we're talking with Danielle Frank. Danielle's an OLAPLEX on-air spokesperson, What's In with OLAPLEX podcast host, launching on May 24th, just a few days after this episode drops, and a licensed cosmetologist.
Before we get there, we want to talk a little bit about, it's heating up here in the Midwest. The sun is out. It is almost summer. And so you naturally are thinking about sunscreen, right? So there was an article out about K-beauty, why Korean sunscreens are so good and leave Americans, they leave them trailing in their wake. And, K-beauty has been ahead of us on a lot of trends, setting the trends, and they trickle over to us. But they're noting better protection, skincare benefits, lightweight finishes, and that some are preferring those K-beauty sunscreens. So The product category is so strong because of the scandal that rocked the K-beauty industry in 2022. But also dermatologists and skincare gurus are urging the public to certainly wear sunscreen, and we're urging you to check out some of those K-beauty solutions.
I feel like I can never find a face sunscreen that doesn't leave a cast.
Same.
There's one that I will say is an exception that I'm not going to drop because they're not a sponsor. And they don't need it. But yeah, I'm actually legitimately quite excited to try out some of these K-beauty brands. Because I feel like I'm always like looking like
I know.
a ghost.
And I mean, there's a lot of maintenance that goes into this, and a lot of, so we're going to need to keep the sun damage to a minimum. So they talked with Alicia Yoon, the CEO of Peach and Lily, a New York-based Korean skincare brand, which is all the rage on TikTok right now. So that might be one that you could check out.
All right, let's talk about what's trending on our site.
Okay.
Our editorial team has been hard at work this week, uncovering industry news, looking into trends, and diving into the brands that you don't know but should. And here are some of our favorite headlines. First up, celebrity hairstylist Christine Simmons shares her best blonde tips. I mean, you just said it, the temperatures are rising. People are doing things like, going blonder for summer. So if you're considering lightening your hair for the summer season, maybe you've been bleaching for a while and you're unsure about the shade that you've been rocking. The world of blonding can be daunting. With so many different shades and tones, it can be overwhelming to know where to start or to figure out what you should ask for at your next appointment. Luckily, Clairol Professional Shimmer Lights ambassador Christine Simmons has shared her best tips for the process of going blonde over on TheTease.com. All right, Kelly. Now, I know that you don't go fully blonde, but in the spirit of what you just mentioned about skincare and summer, have you gone a little bit lighter?
If you give me a little look-see over here, you can see that indeed I sat myself down in my stylist chair a couple of days ago, wasn't in a good mood. She could sense it, and she said, I think we need a little brightness. And so I left feeling like $1 million, and I do have some lighter pieces in here, which she does so well. The placement is impeccable.
Well,
so yes, even I too lighten for the summer.
Blondes really do have more fun, as it turns out. Okay. All right. Next up on the site, things that we're loving. The article is entitled, Here's What You Need to Know About Lace Front Wig Itchiness and How to Prevent It. If you've been wondering whether or not wearing HD lace frontal wigs irritates the scalp, we've got some good news. It doesn't have to. HD lace frontal wigs have become a popular option. Why? Because they have a super realistic look. Some require no glue installation, making it very easy for beginners in the space, and they are relatively comfortable, except when they aren't. If your HD lace frontal wig is irritating your scalp, there may be a few causes, such as wearing an incorrectly fitted, poorly constructed, or poor quality wig, and or the wrong adhesive. Head to TheTease.com for the article on a few tips to ensure that you prevent scalp irritation. I found this to be incredibly helpful. I didn't really know a ton about this topic, but I felt like I learned a tremendous amount. But I will say, I'm going to ask, do you ever watch videos of people taking off wigs? I fell down a rabbit hole. Go on.
I'm actually incredibly fascinated by the entire wig installation and the precision it takes to look realistic and wonderful. And so I have too been down that rabbit hole of the installation, the edges, sort of taking off. I didn't realize the 8 to 10 hour mark was sort of the time stamp. But it makes sense. We want to give our scalp time to breathe, right? And to prevent that irritation. So I am very fascinated and simply love the entire process.
I can't get enough. The video that is now haunting me is we talked about The Little Mermaid. Her sister at the premiere wore a lace front because she also wears her hair in locks. And she posted a video of her taking off the wig in a quest to preserve her edges. It was I was riveted. I could not stop watching as she was just like, but yeah, it is a fascinating process. Love to see it. The artistry. All right. Last but not least, a really cool interview. The article is called Coloring Outside the Lines with Makeup Artist Be Sweet. For British makeup artist Be Sweet, makeup acts as a tool that visually represents intersectionalities. Whether it can help address one's sexuality, culture, or feminism, makeup is more than just applying products to the face. After studying prosthetics at the London College of Fashion, Sweet realized there was more to life beyond silicone and orc sculptures, so she decided to pursue her love for prosthetics in a fashion context. Nowadays, Sweet pulls inspiration from things outside of the makeup world, like feminist podcasts, 80s books, and ballet, all of which are key in allowing Sweet to produce her art. To Sweet, it is crucial that she believes in the art that she produces, as well as the messages that she sends out into the world. Learn more about Be Sweet in this article on TheTease.com. Kelly,
Yes.
if you could get a makeover from Bee, because she's got
Ooh.
quite an aesthetic, is there
Yes.
something that you would ask for? Or would you just let her do whatever she wants?
I would let her do whatever she wants. I feel like she sort of exaggerates or puts emphasis on those features that might not be so dominant on your face. So like the bright colors, right? The overextended sort of under eyelash. I mean, there are so many Vogue covers to reference, if you will. And I think her work is phenomenal in so many ways.
Can't
It's
get enough.
unreal.
I'd let her do whatever the hell she wants.
For
Bleach
sure.
my brows off, draw something on that, like whatever. Go crazy.
Let's go.
Let's go. Check out that article. And if you're not following her, make sure you are, because her work is something to definitely get some inspiration from. As always, so much going on at TheTease.com. Thank you to our hardworking editors. We are proud to publish stories that salon pros and consumers care about.
Be sure to hit subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to Volume Up at TheTease.com.
Volume Up is a Tease Media production. This episode was produced by Monica Hickey and Madeline Hickey. Brian Daly is our editor and audio engineer. Thank you to Josh Landowski and Nathan Folks for the custom Volume Up theme song, and thank you to our creative team for putting together the graphics for this episode.